Yo, what up? This B-Boy Reg
I'm DJ Butter, y'all.
and this Funky Fresh in the Flesh podcast.
Yes,
And
sir.
today we got a special legendary guest with us in the house. DJ
DJ
Los,
Los.
Oh man.
the one and only.
Yeah.
Detroit legend.
Yeah, Los, you being one of the first to put an album out in Detroit hip hop, talk about what that was like, how was E.Z.B., but your partner was part of the project as well.
Um, it was experimental. We didn't. I didn't set out to do hip hop in the beginning. I was really good at drawing and art, and but I used to travel to the studio with my dad a lot. You know what I'm saying? He worked with Parliament Funkadelic. He was the percussionist. So I lived in the studio as a kid, so I was always around it and always around musicians and stuff like that. And when hip hop came out, being a young teenager, I took a liking to it, and my dad saw that, and so he teamed me up with E.Z.B. because I didn't know E.Z.B.
Wow.
And I don't know if y'all remember, it was a store at Northland Mall here in Detroit, and they used to have, you could go in, and if you took your demo tape in there, they would create a video for you. If you brought the audio, they would shoot you with the camera, and you can make a video along with your music where you on there, like a music video.
Right.
So we went to Northland, and that's where we found E.Z.B. And my dad had already been watching them, and he met him up there and brought me with him, and that's where we connected. And so that was my start.
So was you producing or something? You had learned how to produce at this time?
Well, no, prior to that, what it was, I missed a step. My dad had caught me trying to DJ
Okay.
with one of my grandmother's little portable turntables she had. She had it stored in the attic.
Yeah.
And I had saw Jam Master Jay, and Crush Groove, and I knew what scratching was. I was a big fan of Run DMC back then.
Right.
So I'm like, I want to emulate what Jam Master Jay is doing. So I was like, Grandma, can I use your portable turntable?
Right.
That's sitting collecting dust in the attic.
Right.
And my dad caught me doing it. You know what I'm saying? And he said, don't you need some real equipment, man?
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, I said, I don't got no money for that. You know what I'm saying? He said, I'm going to take you to Wonderland Music. So he took me to Wonderland on Michigan Avenue in Dearborn, and introduced me to Crazy Clearance up there. And he bought me my first Technique 1200 turntable and a new Mark mixer and a PV amp so that I could plug it in and hear my music through it.
Wow.
And he told me, if you practice, I'll get you the other turntable later, but I want to see if you're serious with this. Because he had spent about $1,500 on me that day.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So my dad, he nurtured it, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, a few weeks or after that, he saw that I was really trying to do that. He said, you know what? I'm going to start a record label. And the first artist I'm going to put on it is my son.
Wow.
And so,
Damn.
that's how that World One Records got formed. And he because he was touring with RJ's latest arrival back then.
Yeah.
Shackles on My Feet and all of that.
Yeah.
So he knew what hip hop was about. Run DMC used to open up for them and stuff.
Wow.
They was laughing at hip hop. They like, these guys ain't no real
Right.
musicians. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't know if this gonna last, but they out there. They got a DJ and they rapping on the microphone.
Right.
This ain't real music. That's how he was looking at it. But then he saw that it started becoming lucrative.
Right.
And he was like, you know what? I better get in this so I can get some money out of this too. So I'm gonna put a record out on my son. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I got in.
So what year was this?
This was '87 when we recorded the album Untouchable. So it was released in '88.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some history. 88.
Yeah.
So how do it feel to influence, like, hip hop at the beginning, like us being DJs, me and DJ King Davis in the house right now,
bro.
Yeah. Just to see you on a freeway. I don't even think it was a freeway, was it?
It was a freeway,
It was
but it's not the freeway that people might think it is.
Yeah.
It was before Photoshop was out. What we did was take a picture on the Northwestern Highway near Evergreen and Lasher.
Mm.
Or Lasser.
Lasser.
You know what I'm saying? you know, Detroit way is
Right.
Lasher. So we took that picture. We couldn't get the permission to go down there and shoot the picture because we wanted to do it on the freeway, but the city of Southfield wouldn't give us the permission, so we had to sneak. We took these big speakers that we got from the Crazy Clearance again at Wonderland, and we had the Pathfinders. We pre-mapped it out.
Wow.
We're going to hurry up and go down there and take the pictures. We're going to go to the jewelry store, get the jewelry that we want to wear. We're going to do all of this, you know what I'm saying? So we got that. We went to Crazy Clearance, got the speakers, and then we got the trucks. I couldn't even drive yet. You know, I'm like 14, 15 years old, man.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I couldn't even drive. But we knew what the look we wanted to look like. My dad designed that. My dad and my Uncle Gene David. They wanted us to have the look of dope dealers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, look, we gonna dress y'all up.
Right.
Like Butch Jones and YBI,
Wow.
you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Because even if y'all come out and they don't buy y'all record because they like the music, they gonna like the way this album cover look.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was all marketing. You know, my dad, he been in the business, so you know, he just applied what he knew with Parliament Funkadelic and all
Y'all
that.
look like the richest dudes ever.
Yeah, because we was like, I was always questioning, like, was this like some movie magic or something?
Yeah,
because y'all was on the freeway for real.
Yeah, no, we was on the freeway,
Right.
but we weren't downtown.
Yeah.
So we had the photographer go downtown and shoot the Renaissance Center like early in the morning where the lighting was right. And probably, y'all know the techniques. They took a picture of the Renaissance and then they superimposed it. Well, actually, they cut the picture out, had the artist put the picture of the Renaissance behind us, and it looks like we're coming from downtown Detroit on the freeway, but there is no freeway that leads straight into the Renaissance Center.
Wow.
So, yeah, I tell people that, and they be like, "Dang, you right. I thought y'all was downtown." I'm like, no, this is way before Photoshop.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
and way before on the lodge with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Y'all the original on the lodge with
exactly.
it.
They ain't look at it like that. You're right.
Yeah, that's funny.
A lot of people don't know what your rap partner E.Z.B. was locked up for.
Okay.
What was he locked up for?
He got a triple murder case.
Okay.
But he was innocent in the situation. To my understanding, he was there, and he basically took the rap for somebody.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like the prosecutors told him, they knew that it wasn't possible that he committed these murders.
Wow.
But he was going down if he wasn't gonna say nothing, and he kept his mouth shut, and he been in there ever since, man. He went to jail free E.Z.B.
Wow.
I think he went in 1990.
So y'all had like a 2-year run or something like that?
Basically, yeah. We never got a chance to do a second album. The second time around was gonna be big for us. It was gonna be better. You know, Billy Sparks, Prince's manager at the time, he was gonna be our manager.
Wow.
And he was planning to put us, on tour and, setting up talks with my dad and everything for us to go on tour. And we probably would have been out of here the second time around.
What, Billy Sparks is the cat from Purple Rain.
Purple Rain.
Yeah,
Got
the
Detroit Tiger
glasses.
hand on.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's dope.
Yep.
Wow.
So let me ask you, like starting out DJing, you mentioned Jam Master Jay. Who else was your influences for DJing?
Jazzy Jeff, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
DJ Man. Let me see, Richie Rich.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of them, you know what I'm saying? Then, like DJ Scratch, when he got with EPMD, because he's not the original DJ. DJ Diamond is the original DJ. That's my homie. Shout out to DJ Diamond. I was just with him the other day. And then they had Kayla Boss after that.
Yeah.
But DJ Scratch, that's my hero right now. You know what I'm saying? Him and Jazzy Jeff, they're my two favorite DJs. So they influenced me a lot.
Anybody from Detroit?
Oh, definitely. Dude, I mean, radio personalities wise, Mojo, and you know what I'm saying? Jeff Mills, the Wizard, come on now.
Oh, yeah,
you know what
Wizard,
I'm saying? DJ Maestro, that was signed to my dad's label. That was my big brother, or still is. Still is my big brother. He just don't do music like that no more. But yeah, him, Fingers, Zap,
Okay.
Gary Chandler.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All of them guys. You know,
Right.
DJ Babe. There's a bunch of people that I give props to.
Yeah.
Shotgun, DJ Lynn Swan. You know,
Yeah,
I'm part of the Tech 12 Tech Mob. So
yeah.
all of them. DJ
Yeah,
Dez,
yeah.
Daddy Riff.
Shout out to Dez.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody. I'm a fan of all of the DJs that got a name from here. DJ Butter.
Right.
King David. You know what I'm saying?
So when you first started out, were you trying to do like all the tricks, or were you just like trying to just get the basics down, or you just jump right into it? Like,
I was more so on the scratching tip. Like I can beat juggle, and I can do it minimally.
Right.
And, you know, back in the day, I remember juggling with records and stuff like that. Like I don't know if I can do it that well anymore.
Okay.
But yeah, I used to be around all the people who were turntablists.
Right.
So I had to hold my own
Right.
a little bit just to stay in with them, where they wouldn't count me out and say, "Oh, Los, you can't do nothing." You know what I'm saying? So I can do a little bit of turntablism when it comes to that, but scratching is my main forte.
Okay.
And you know, to this day, you know, I think I inherited my dad's talent and his rhythm.
Right.
You know, because he's a percussionist. People hire me to do scratches on their projects a lot.
Right. That's dope.
Yeah, speaking of your dad, a lot of people, you know, don't know that your father helped Death Row Records in a major way. Talk about growing up under that umbrella, you know.
Okay. Yeah, my dad is he was the percussionist for Death Row. He played on all of your favorite songs from Death Row, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? To all the artists' albums like Tupac, The Dog Pound, Rage, Badass. Shoot, who am I forgetting? Snoop. You know, he came to Death Row right after the Chronic. So he doesn't play on the Chronic album, but everything else after that. Murder Was the Case, he's all over that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Natural Born Killers. You know, my dad's got singing parts on stuff. Like.
Pause.
Hold on 1 second. Are you picking all of that?
Yeah. Back to your dad. Just you being a child of Death Row. You know, what was that like? You know.
Oh yeah, man. That was fun. You know, that was a highlight of my dad's career. You know, my dad plays with the Four Tops right now, so he's been with major artists my whole life that I've known. You know, Bootsy Collins and people like that, and like I said, George Clinton. But when he got with Death Row, that was exciting for me because that's hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I would get all of their music early, you know, before everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Everything you bought after the Chronic, I had it like months before it came out. You know? And I knew not to give no copies out because I ain't trying to get my dad in trouble with Suge Knight. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was an exciting time, man. You know, my dad is all in the videos. You know, like I showed somebody that the other day. If you look at Nate Dogg's One More Day. When it comes on, my dad does the narration on the song. That's his voice.
Oh wow!
So, in the video, it's my dad. If you go watch the video, my dad is the one talking.
Wow! You
know what I'm saying? And Gin and Juice. You know, so I used to go out there every year and hang around Dr. Dre and Snoop and Daz and Corrupt and all of them. So, like I said, it was exciting because them guys, they legends. They legends now.
Right.
You know, RBX, you know what I'm saying? Nate Dogg too. Warren G hung around him a lot.
You met Pac?
I didn't get to meet Pac. He's the only one that didn't get to meet because I think he had passed. Like the years that he was with Death Row it was a short period of time. It wasn't a long period of time he was with them, and during that period of time, I don't think I got out there to meet Pac. And then he ended up going to jail and stuff like that. You know, I missed all of that. Well, he didn't go to jail when he was on Death Row. He went to jail before. Yeah, they got him out. Yeah, but no, I missed that. But my dad used to work with Pac every day. Right. So I know all the stories.
You got some tracks on the Butter Rim soundtrack. Talk about that. Man.
Yeah, it's a guy from Detroit named Makantu that calls himself Lord G. Okay. And Lord G picked one of my tracks out of about 30 tracks. He just so happened to pick it. And it became a song on the Above the Rim soundtrack called "Gotta Get My Money Right."
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll check that out.
Yeah, y'all go check that out.
Yeah.
So talking about Death Row, everybody talk about Suge, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was your interaction with Suge, and like, is the stories we hear? Have you witnessed some of that, or what? Was
Not
it
no
like?
bad stuff. No,
Okay.
not with Suge. Suge. When I hung around Suge, it was all good, you know, and I know that because he had a lot of respect for my dad. You see what I'm saying? So it was a different environment for me. When I go out there, they looked at me like, you know, that's the OG son. You know what I'm saying? So you know, they respect him, so they know not to do nothing to me or whatever.
Right.
Suge, the first time I met Suge was at his villa. Went out there and we went and we watched The Gladiator together. I said, this is crazy. I'm sitting in the room with Suge Knight watching the movie The Gladiator. You know what I'm saying? So that was the first time I met him. But the second time I went back out there to meet him, I was on a mission. I said, this time he gonna listen to some of my music. You know what I'm saying? I need him because he already know I made the beat for the Above the Rim soundtrack. I said, but I want to make some more music with him.
Right.
So this was after Dre had left when I went out there. I get to the studio with my dad. My dad said, I don't know where Suge is, Lois. I gotta mix this Chronic 2001 album, I think it was. This one, you know, after Dre left, like I said. He said, I gotta mix this, you know, so we don't know if Suge gonna show up or not, whatever. You know, you can chill on the couch. You know the routine, Lois. I said, okay. I fall asleep on the couch. I wake up and Suge Knight is standing over me, right? And I know he don't remember my face from the last time when I met him.
Right.
And he looking at me like almost with a frown. I said, oh, what's up, Suge? I said, I'm Butch's son. And gave him a pound of water. He's like, oh, okay, I didn't know who you was. You know, you laying on the couch, you know, I ain't mean to disturb you, you know what I'm saying? You apologetic.
Right.
I said, no, I came to see you. I said, I've been waiting for you. That's why I'm up here. And he was like, it threw him off.
Right.
Oh, all right. Oh, okay. I said, I want you to listen to my music.
Right.
All right, you like basketball? I say, yeah, I ain't into sports like that. You know what I'm saying? I say, yeah, I watch basketball. Yeah, I'm into it. Yeah.
Right.
We gonna go to the Lakers game tomorrow. You cool with that? Bet.
Wow.
Took me to the Lakers game. We kicked it. It was him, his daddy, Corrupt. Because Corrupt, that's my homie. Shout out to Gotti. That's my homie, Corrupt. I'm closer to him than anybody in Death Row.
Okay.
You know. So yeah, that was my interaction with him, and you know, I never got no more music on Death Row, but he treated me fine. You know, I know a lot of the stories that people say about him. Some of that stuff is true, but some of it is exaggerated.
Right.
The stories about him beating up the engineer because he ain't rewind the tape back. That wasn't him. That was Tupac did that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I know a lot of the inside stuff because my dad was there.
Right.
You know?
Okay. You talk about your resume. I've been to your studio. You got plaques on the wall. Talk about people you work with. You know.
Well, I only got one plaque, and that's that Above the Rim soundtrack. Yeah. But I got a lot of my dad's plaques. You know what I'm saying? My dad, he worked. You know, he owned. What's that? West Side Connection album.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He gave me that plaque. He gave me the Aftermath plaque. That been there, done that, because he playing on there. But he got tons of plaques. But those are the two.
So hold on. I just got to go back. So your dad was working with Death Row, but he still worked with Dre. He kept that relationship?
No.
Okay.
But he was with Death Row when they were all together first.
Okay.
And then when Dre left,
right,
he went with Dre.
Okay. All right.
And then when that relationship went sour between my dad and Dr. Dre, my dad went back to Suge.
Okay. All right. Yeah. That makes sense.
So, yeah, but they all cool now. My dad is actually going to drive out there to see Dre and them probably next week. So he may be working with them again.
It's a lot of, for some reason it seems like I keep hearing these Death Row stories with Dre, Suge, tying into Detroit somehow. Like just like Snoop history here.
Yeah, he
your
used to
stories.
live here. Yep. He used to live here. His dad was a mailman.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's big.
Yeah, T Money Green. Shout out to T Money Green. He was responsible for my track getting on the Above the Rim soundtrack. partially. He was the one who took my cassette tape because he came in town.
Right.
T Money Green is the bass player that played on Indo Smoke.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he also used to play with the Dramatics with my dad and people back in the day, and George Clinton.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how they know each other, because T Money Green was out in Cali first before my dad went out there.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
They had, him and Dr. Dre had a discussion about the percussion on the Parliament records.
Right.
And that's when T Money Green was like, "Oh, I know the guy." You know
right.
what I'm saying? I know him. That's my brother. That's Butch, Carl Butch Small. You know.
Wow.
So they called back here to Detroit, and you know, Tony put Dre on the phone to talk to my dad.
Right.
And my dad drove out there, and then the rest is history.
Wow, that's cool. Yep. So, what about like the new technology, the new DJs, up and coming DJs? Like you mentioned, your dad brought you the techniques, right? How do you feel about the new technology that the younger generation of DJs?
Oh, I'm down with it, but I had to wait until they had something that had all of the features on it that I wanted.
Right.
Like a lot of people are using controllers now.
Okay.
And I just bought a Pioneer controller, but it's got spinning turntables on it. You know what I'm saying? All of them don't have the platters that turn.
Right.
So, you know, the new technology is, you just got to know what it is you're trying to get. And I needed something that I will be able to scratch the same way I can scratch on turntable.
A real feel.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I need them to turn around. I don't need them to sit still. You know
what I'm saying? Is it something visually you see when it's spinning?
Yeah. Then it's the feel. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's coordination is different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you still scratch on vinyl?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I ain't never getting rid of. Man, I got 1200 turntables.
Wow.
So I love my 12s.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you know, I had to update.
Right.
You know, getting older, you don't want to carry all that equipment all the time.
What you got coming up? I know you on a Shay Nora doing cuts for her.
Yeah, I work with Shay Nora. I got a project called The Milestone I'm working on. I'm trying to get that out. You know, I just turned 50 this year, so trying to get that done. You know, I'm working real heavy with Razcast. You know, me and Raz got a lot of stuff together. He got me. I did production on a song for him, along with Havoc from Mobb Deep. I did the drums and he cut the sample up. So that's exciting for me. Rakim has 10 of my tracks, and I'm waiting to hear if he's going to use them or not. He got them on the back burner. They sent me a text message saying that they're interested in using them for his next project. So you know how that go in the music. You know, I'm excited, but you know, I got that going on. I DJ for Slum Village. I DJ for Royce the 5'9". All the old school cats from here. Awesome Dre. I DJ for him. I got a show coming up with him and Isham, Stretch Money.
Oh, that's dope.
That's in a couple of weeks on the 19th.
Right.
Harpo's, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Legendary Harpo's on the east side of Detroit.
I seen you DJing. Last time I seen you DJ was for Miss Corona down at the Quinter Cut.
Yep.
She had the live band. I was like, she got Los and the live band. This gonna be
I
dope.
can't forget my sister. I DJ for her too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's my sister.
Dope.
To beat it from the beginning of Detroit hip hop, what kind of message you got for the community, just on about unity, just to being in the business for so long, just the unity you got with your father, and you know how the loyalty y'all got, just even with him and Death Row, to still be working together, you know, to this day. You don't see that a lot in life where you got the pops and the love y'all got. You know what I'm
and
saying?
so that's kind of my cheat code, you know what I'm saying? Like my dad, like a lot of people, man, like I commend everybody that's from here that did it on their own. You know what I'm saying? Like I had a crutch. My dad was in the business. He bought me equipment. I didn't have to hustle to go get no equipment.
Right.
So I look at everybody that do that, and I admire that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a quality that people have that I never had to try to execute. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I tell people, keep doing what you're doing, man. You know what I'm saying? Because like Dez, I always bring up Dez. I give him his props, man. Dez didn't really have a lot of the upper scale equipment, but he was still making music.
Right.
We had 2 tape decks making beats. We
Yeah.
didn't have no drum machines.
Yeah.
I had drum machines. You know, I had my dad's drum machine, so I can go experiment, play, make beats, and learn how to make beats on real equipment.
Right.
As opposed to Dez getting it from the
mud,
bottom. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, from the mud and really making some stuff. And you like, man, how are you doing that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's clever.
Yeah.
Dave, you being a DJ, what you got to ask them?
Was there a time that you felt like Detroit DJs were not getting recognition from the rest of the country?
Was there a time when what?
You felt like Detroit DJs wasn't getting recognition from the rest of the country?
Detroit as a whole ain't never got the proper recognition that it should.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In all aspects, not just DJing. You know, the MCs. You know, just like I was just talking to my sister, Miss Corona. You know what I'm saying? They just put out a list with female MCs on it, and they got a couple of people from Detroit. You know, shout out to Cash Dow and the Shay Nord, and you know, Mahogany Jones, some people like that. But I'm like, how could they overlook Boss?
Right.
How can they overlook Miss Corona?
Miss
You
Corona.
know what I'm saying? You know, so, and they don't do that with everybody else around the world. So the DJs, it's the same thing, man. We don't get the recognition around the country like that. You know, we get recognition amongst each other and ourselves. You know what I'm saying? You form an alliance with certain DJs like Jazzy Jeff and you know, DJ Diamond for EPMD and people like that. They embrace you, KG, you know what I'm saying, from Naughty by Nature. They embrace you on a personal level, but when it comes to the media, they don't say shout out to the guy in Detroit, you know what I'm saying, King David, DJ Butter, you know what I'm saying. They don't do that, you know, because I watch it. So
yeah, it's good to see you do the lives on Facebook with ARES mixes and Razzcast birthday tributes.
Yeah, everybody. I try to do everybody I can. You know what I'm saying. I try to give them a spotlight. You know, Raz. He pretty much had his time. You know what I'm saying. But I'm saying locally.
Right.
I try to do the Ty Ferris.
Cause you put me up on stuff.
Yeah. You support, man. I be seeing you all the time. Every time I go live, I'm like DJ Butter and all. Yeah.
I got a quick question though, just going back to like the whole music industry and your experience and what your father know and what you know. Is there something you think Detroit artists were missing, like back in the day? We're talking early 90s. It was a lot of groups out that was kind of like right on the verge, like you said y'all were. What do you think was the missing piece?
I think a lot of it was finance.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I think we didn't have the budget to compete with the majors. You know what I'm saying? You got to think they had Def Jam records out. And, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these record labels were backed by Jewish owners. You know what I'm saying? And they had that money behind them.
Right.
So they can go and utilize payola with the DJs at the radio station. They can pay those DJs to play those records, even though we might not have thought they was hot, but they can get that airplay like that. Yeah. So that was probably something that the independents couldn't, you know, like they couldn't surpass that, that monster like that. But and there's some of our talent, like we needed to develop a little bit more. I think that sometimes the music that we were putting out was kind of trivial. And we didn't take our time with it sometimes, you know what I'm saying? But we had hit records though. Right. So I can't totally say that, but the quality of the records didn't measure up sometime to the Def Jam sound. We didn't have the money.
Like the quality.
Yeah.
Quality, like the
mixes.
The song was a good song concept.
Yeah.
Artists, lyrics and everything, but the quality of the mix. Yeah. And that type of stuff.
Yeah. The separation wasn't there. You know, like we didn't have the money. Right. We didn't have the money. Right. I mean, like our album when it came out, it was sonically correct because my dad was a musician. Right. But it lacked the creativity of the youth. You know, like a lot of the music that E.Z.B. was rapping over and I was rapping over, we didn't make it. My dad created it. Right. You know what I'm saying? and so it had a elder's ear
Right.
creating the music. You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of the downfall with us. We didn't have the creative freedom to create our own music. It was an experiment,
Right.
basically.
Right.
Like I said, the second time around, had we did that, we'd have been more into it and did more.
Yeah.
That's what Chaos and Maestro was going through and those guys.
No, they had creative freedom.
To just do a second album. That's what we, as fans, like, it was a second album with y'all, World War Records and Raw Dog Records. It was like that when Dice did his second album. It was like, okay, cool, there's another one coming up. You know what I'm saying?
He only had one album on our label, though.
Right, but when Eshawn took him,
right.
Yeah.
You know, Neighborhood Shit Talker was like, it was another one. You know, we understood the development of it, but just to keep it going, it's like,
that was a major setback. I know for us it was. You know what I'm saying? When E.Z.B. got in trouble and we didn't ever put another second album out. You know what I'm saying? I know that was.
I mean, as DJs seeing you and Chaos and Maestro video, and you know, it was like, yes, you know, brotherhood,
Right.
it was unity.
Oh, we was gonna have fun. We was having fun. We thought we was going, man. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it's just a lot of factors. You know, like I said, my dad went out to L.A. and started working with Dre, and initially what was supposed to happen was he was supposed to make the connection so that for us back here.
Right.
But once he got out there, everybody was pulling for him.
Right.
The DJ Quicks and Ice Cube and Dre.
I still buy a World War I t-shirt and a
Right.
Raw Dog Records t-shirt.
For sure.
So the reason I asked that question is because coming up as an MC or people putting out music, everybody had like, some people was always blaming on the radio. Oh, they're not playing our stuff. But like some artists never took accountability and say, oh, we not putting out radio quality records.
Right.
But now looking back on it, when I listen back to like early Detroit hip hop and some of the artists that maybe came from like the South, right? Where you look at your masterpiece, I'm like, their quality wasn't that much better, right? But they went out and grinded and hustled from state to state. And I think there was something, the business side of it, a lot of artists probably didn't
That's
get
probably
back
true.
then.
I don't think that was the case with us because we did all of those things too.
Yeah.
My dad and my two uncles, they drove around the country and gave away product in all the major neighborhoods.
Wow.
You know, like 5,000, like Cabrini Green projects in Chicago, they gave about 5,000 copies just there alone. So my dad understood that was like, he had to create a buzz.
Right.
So they were doing all of that. I think why we didn't blow up, me and E.Z.B., when we came out with the Untouchable album, was because we were right on the cusp of when NWA and Two Live Crew came out.
Right.
And we ain't cussing on our stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And my dad, he didn't allow it. You know what I'm saying? He was like, y'all can't use no profanity. We was like, why? You know what I'm saying? We want to cuss.
Right.
He was like, we're an independent label, and we're not going to be able to walk in the door of the radio stations with that explicit lyric for an advisory sticker on that. We don't want that on there. We want to be able to walk in, tell them to play it. You know what I'm saying? That was his thinking back then.
Right.
But now, today, we talk about it. Me and my pop sit down and talk. He's like, Los, I was wrong. I should have listened to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I should have let y'all have a little bit more creative freedom.
Right.
And do what you wanted to do. And, you know what I'm saying? Things might have turned out better.
Right.
So.
Well, to his defense, it was still a lot of records that didn't have cussing on it up to that point. They just kind of broke the mold at that time, and everybody kind of followed suit afterwards. So, that's dope, man. I love hearing history, man. Straight from the artist.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I mean, I wish things would have happened a little different, but everything happened for a reason.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not regretful that we didn't blow up or nothing like that.
Right.
It's just you think about it, you look at all of the factors, and you say, man, I can see where it could have went a different way.
Right.
I can see it, and you know. But like I said, we were experimenting too. So
talk about who was in your first video.
Who was in my first video? Man, I had the great Emmanuel Stewart, the boxing trainer, and Michael Moore, the boxer. You know what I'm saying? His hand is in there wrapped up and all of that. We did it at the Kronk facility. Yeah, yeah. The song was called "Hit Me," and I'm rapping on it, which is funny.
That's dope.
You still rapping?
Big old chain on.
A little bit. I rap. If I rap, I'm rapping about the creator. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So, you know, but I don't put a lot of time into lyrics like that or nothing like. Cause I never really wanted to be a rapper. I picked the DJ role because I really wanted to be in the background.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of camera shy. You know.
Right.
That ain't really my thing.
Okay.
And not a show off or nothing like that. Or I ain't got to, you know, I'm not competitive, none of that.
Yeah.
So I picked the DJ role because I like helping other people shine.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, you do that, man. I be seeing the shows. I be like, man, you be holding it down.
Thank you.
Any last words for Detroit hip hop, man?
Just stay unified, man, and support each other, and quit being crabs in the barrel. You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen that. I've seen that over the years. Everybody like, I gotta be the first one to do this, and then when they get the connects, they don't want to share them with nobody else.
Right.
And
burning rubber on each other.
And pay to go to each other's shows, man. Stop trying to get in for free, man. This is
include the Dilla days.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Right. Thank you, DJ Los, man.
Thanks for coming out.
Untouchable DJ Los right here.
Oh, bro.
Yep.
Yes, Funky Fresh in the Flesh podcast. Man, we're gonna make it to the fucking Hoodwood.
T.O.P. That's what's up.